Hey everybody, this is Collin Overton. I'm the editor-in-chief of the Eastern Progress. Here with me today is Dr. Ginny Whitehouse. She's a professor in the Department of Communication and pretty much a well-versed scholar on media law and all things related to the First Amendment. So here today we're going to talk about next week, which is First Amendment Week, which is where we're having a number of events that kind of celebrate the First Amendment and what it means to us as student journalists or just students, on campus. So Ginny, can you kind of run through with us some events that are going on next week?
I'm happy to. We're going to start off on Monday with a panel called Guardians of Kentucky. And our whole theme this next week is Guardians and the War on Truth. So Monday, April 15th at 9:30 in Combs 318, John Nelson will be leading a panel discussion of distinguished Kentucky journalists. John is the editorial director for Landmark Community Newspapers and a longtime advocate and journalism leader concerning First Amendment issues. We'll also be having Jeff Vanderbeck from the Appalachian News Express, Ryan Craig, who is the Kentucky Colonel Advisor, Abigail Whitehouse from the Interior Journal, and Miranda Combs from KYT. So that's going to start us off on Monday. On Tuesday morning, also at 9:30, we're going to have a special memorial for all the international journalists who died reporting the news in the last year. Again, that will be next Tuesday at 9:30 at the Meditation Chapel in Powell Square. And if you're interested in reading names as part of that memorial, we have a post on the Eastern Progress you can connect to, or you can come with us and meet there, and we'll help you just express some gratitude for journalists who have died while working as news leaders. Then next Wednesday, our alum, Zaina Day, will come back. She's going to do a presentation on keeping information free. She's the communications director for Brand New Congress, which is an organization specializing in getting new voices, particularly from the working class, into having the tools they need in order to be successful and run for Congress. Then on Thursday, the Department of Government is sponsoring the Freedom of Religion panel, and that will be in Grice Auditorium here in Combs at 11 a.m. And they'll be talking about some of the big issues relating to freedom of religion at this time. Now, don't forget that we also have podcasts coming out on the Eastern Progress Network.
Right.
Yes, so we have a new podcast called Banned, the podcast of forbidden books. So be watching out for that as well.
Great.
This week, we have a number of sponsors for all of these events. You are president of the Society of Professional Journalists.
That's true.
And so that's a key sponsor, as is the Eastern Progress Media Network and the Department of Communication, Department of Government, but also the International Society of Weekly Newspaper Editors is sponsoring particularly the Memorial for Journalists. And our own Dr. Givens, chair of our department, is vice president of that international organization. And the Public Relations Society of America is partnering with us as well, particularly to support Zaina Day as she comes to talk about Brand New Congress. So we have a lot going on next week, and I hope we have a big representation from students, faculty, and staff. I think everybody will have a chance to learn a lot.
Why do you think students who aren't necessarily in this department or interested in journalism, why do you think they should come to these events?
Well, free expression has to do with expression for everybody. The expressions you have on social media, the expressions you have just when you care about causes and issues. The First Amendment has to do with 5 parts, and only one of those parts is free press. Do you remember from class the other 4 parts? I'm going to put you on the spot.
Do you put me on the spot?
Yes.
Well, I actually just got a refresher because our opinion section is we do all the takes on the different clauses.
So you're
the
doing
First
a
Amendment.
special editorial for First Amendment Week?
We are, yeah. Actually, stay tuned for that. There's like a fun graphical element going on in there. It's pretty
Okay,
good.
so we have
So we have petition,
the petition, right to petition
right,
the
right to
government,
petition, free speech, press,
religion,
religion,
and assembly.
assembly. Okay, I was getting there.
You were getting there, but I didn't want to make you, confused.
There's already a lot of uhs in this.
That's
so.
all right. You're doing just fine. I am really excited on what we're going to be able to do and have a campus-wide discussion about free speech, free press, all of those things as we talk about guardians and the war on truth. It's going to be a good First Amendment week.
For sure. Why do you think it's relevant, the Guardian's theme going into this week?
Well, this last year, Time Magazine recognized the Guardians as their Time Person of the Year. At this point was the idea of the Person of the Year. There have been so many journalists that have been killed and imprisoned throughout the world in the last year. And we need to show our support and show how important it is to be able to have dialogue on public issues. And so recognize those who really put their lives on the line is very important. And it's particularly important now because worldwide there have been lots of threats to free speech.
For sure, for sure. Well, if you guys need more information on First Amendment Week, we have some info on our site. Just go to easternprogress.com. Dr. Whitehouse, is there anything else you want to add?
I just look forward to seeing everybody at events next week. I'm excited about First Amendment Week.
For sure. Well, we hope to see you all there. Thanks.